Mark, first of all, it's been a week, but reflect on that win over Widnes on Sunday.
Yeah, exactly what we said after the game. I thought Widnes started well, and we left a bit in the tank, and then I thought in that second half we came out a little bit more, what we'd been used to, and I thought it showed. But you've also got to give credit to Widnes. I think Alan's done a fantastic job with them this year, and in playoff rugby it can go either way, can't it? And he was definitely in the balance at half time, so I'm glad we came out on the right end of that.
Yeah. How pleased were you with the response at half time as well, when you words were obviously said in the dressing room, as we mentioned on Sunday, but you must have been pleased with the response?
Yeah, the lads knew, they didn't need myself and the fellow coaches going too hard on them. They knew exactly where his standards needed to be, and it was pleasing that they recognised that and addressed it themselves. So we're also under no illusions too that any game or any team that's left in this competition, that we do need to make sure that we're not starting as flat as we did last Sunday.
Yeah, a big part of the game, especially at half time, was the kicking of Tom Gilmore as well.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you coped better and made adjustments to cope with that after the break as well?
Yeah, I think, listen, Tom Gilmore's an excellent player. He's one of the best kickers in the Championship, so we knew that he were always going to be a kicking threat, especially a short kicking game as you get near the try line. And it's going to be no different this week with Gailey. I presume it'll be Mason Lino playing as well, and also Max can put some kicks in. So the Wakefield's going to have a good short kicking game as well. So it's an area of focus that we're going to have to touch on this week in training and make sure that there's everyone's on the same wavelength with that.
Yeah, and in terms of the try scoring as well, Tom Lynham as well has repaid the faith that you showed in him as well. It wasn't too long ago that we were talking about whether or not there was a place for him in the starting 13, and he's gone on to cement that, and he's taken the opportunity you've handed to him. Yeah,
Tom's he's a seasoned pro, isn't he? He's been around the game a long time. He's played in some big games, and he also is smart enough to understand, if two players are in front of him playing well, then he's got to bide his time, which he did. And now that he's bided his time and he's got his shirt back, he's showing everyone how good a player he still is. To be fair, I thought his back three were outstanding on Sunday with the kick returns and how the transition them sets for us. So Tom, when he's in that sort of form and making them sort of meters, is a joy to watch, isn't it?
On Saturday rather, was the Australian prop Jack Martin as well. I understand he rolled his ankle. Is his season done?
No, Jack will be back in contention this week. He will more his ribs. He got a bump on his ribs, so we had the luxury of having other players that were chomping at the bit, ready to go. So Jack missed out, but he'll be back in contention come Sunday.
How much of a boost is that, especially defensively as well?
Oh yeah, Jack's a solid player, just as is Bailey Antrobus and Jack Teamby and Connor Fitzsimmons, who all missed out the other week. You've then got young Harvey Reynolds coming through. So there's a lot of players that are on that periphery that are very good players in their own right. And as I said all along, I'd rather have these sort of headaches than you rewind 2 months ago and you're thinking, have we got any players to play that position? So that's nature of the beast. There's always going to be a good player that misses out, but on the other hand of it, it also creates a bit of accountability and pressure on the players that do have the shirts to perform, to keep them.
So with that in mind, with the exception of Jack Martin, do you look to make too many changes from the side that went against Widnes?
I think you try to keep as settled as you can, but at the same time you've got training to judge on. You've got your gut feeling, what you think is going to work for that particular week. I think in modern sport, if you do have a fully fit squad, you've got that luxury of looking at what the opposition's strengths are, what your strengths are, and working out what's going to be the best balance of your team. So if everyone gets through training right, I'll have a few selection headaches, but that's also part of fun, isn't it?
Yeah. Are a couple of those selection headaches Will Dagger and AJ Towse as well?
AJ is back in contention. Dagger, I doubt it, if I'm perfectly honest with you. But he's not far off. I just doubt it'll be ready for this Sunday if I'm perfectly wrong.
Because he was touch and go last week, wasn't he? And you said, wait till the next week and we may have a bit of news there, but obviously it's still kind of come too soon for him.
Yeah, it's come too soon for him, if I'm honest. So I think it's one of them with Dags. We don't want to rush him back. We'll know he's ready when he's ready.
Yeah. Wanted to mention as well, nice halfback Atta Hingano as well. This weekend, if he's selected, could make his 100th career appearance. How good has he been this season?
Yeah, listen, Atta's he's a fantastic player. I just love watching him play. I love it when he try give him and Liam Harris and players like that license to go express themselves. And I think when it's all coming off for Atta, it's a joy to watch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not only that, when we are defending, he's also got a pretty mean shot on him in terms of his shoulder contacts, hasn't he? So yeah, it's been a pleasure to coach as Atta, and I think him and Liam Harris is a great partnership. It should be a good matchup on Sunday, if I'm honest with you. You've got the old warhorse Gailey, Father Time. I won't say he knows I'm playing with him, but yeah, Gailey and Mason will be a good combo for Wakefield with Max out back, and I think with what we've been playing, that'll be it's an exciting lineup for both teams, isn't it?
Yeah. Just finally on Atta, had a successful night at the awards last night, picked up Back of the Year, Players Player of the Year, and the Graham Steadman Player of the Year as well. He cleaned up at the awards as well.
Yeah, which goes to show. I thought Atta, Jordan Thompson obviously is right up there too. In my eyes, I think them two's been, well, definitely in my time, probably the standout performers. You've also got Nick Howell, Liam Harris. You could go through loads of players, that are deserving and they've stepped up to the thing, but I think them two are at the forefront of it. And just going back to Atta there, I think it shows you how highly regarded he's valued by not only his teammates but the whole club itself, with the awards that he won.
Yeah. Looking ahead to Wakefield then, they're unbeaten at Bellevue this season. They've lost just one match during the entire campaign. What are your thoughts going into that one? It's going to be another tough one for you. Yeah,
listen, we know we're massive underdogs. I'm not saying that for a soundbite or anything like that. Wakefield's probably spending one of the record amounts for the championship. They've got a lot of depth to the squad, some quality players. A lot of them I know well. It shows with the Championship Player of the Year awards. You've got young Pratty that's obviously one young player. You've got Max that's been in outstanding form, and Darryl obviously with coach of years. So it shows you how dominant they've been, and all rightly deserved in that sense. So we're not stupid. We know that we'll be going in as underdogs, but at the same time, it's a playoff rugby and anything can happen. We know where we need to address the zone game from last time we played them. They'll obviously, I don't think they'll be too happy with how they went last time they played us. So I think it's whoever can nail it on the day, really. And if you're a betting man, I know that 99% of the people have put the money on Wakefield, but that's beauty of sport, isn't it? We'll be going out there and making sure that we give it its best shot to get that result.
Yeah. Are you quite happy with that underdog tag? Does it bother you? Does it have any influence on the mentality going in at all? Or
no, I don't think it does. I think the main thing for both teams is having that self-belief between your own four walls. As long as you control what you can, which is preparing your team, or from a coaching point of view or from a playing point of view, preparing yourself to the best of your ability to nail your role in the team, then that's all you can do, isn't it? But one thing I'll guarantee is our team will be going out full of self-belief that we can do it, and I'm sure Wakefield will be doing exactly the same as they have done all year. They've been on an outstanding run, and it's our job to try spoil it, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. You mentioned the last meeting in September as well. 20-4 was the scoreline. You've talked about what you can take from that game. What can you learn from that meeting?
Yeah, I thought we started slow, if I'm honest with you. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was 16-0, pretty quick. We can't afford to be gifting teams such as Wakefield that sort of head start on us, so that's something we need to have a look at. I thought both teams were pretty, patchy, ball in hand. I don't think the weather probably helped, with the slippy conditions, but I think both teams are good enough to serve up better rugby than you probably saw on show there. So I think there's areas to fix up in our game, both A and D, and I'm sure Darryl will be saying exactly the same to Wakefield. They'll be wanting to go back into Super League, you know, on the back of you know, winning the playoffs there. So it's got all the makings for a, you know, a good playoff encounter.
Yeah, I think looking at the history books, it's the 11th of November 1984, the last time the York Knights beat Wakefield. That'd be some upset, some story, wouldn't it, if you can turn them over?
Yeah, it's actually, I didn't realise it was that long. Well, there you go. It shows you, you know, how rightly so we are going in as underdogs. But it's something we're relishing. You know, where I don't think there's any pressure on us. I think all the pressure's on Wakefield. We can go out there and give it his best shot to. You know, it's a bit of a David and Goliath, isn't it? And it's something that we're looking forward to.
Good luck.
Cheers.
I know you mentioned there about your slow starts. They've kind of been a theme, haven't they, over the past sort of month?
Yeah.
What do you do, or is there anything that you can do to stop that?
Yeah, I don't think. I think Widnes. I thought the first 5-10 minutes we wasn't too bad. I think it was more Widnes playing really well too. You know, that kind of threw us off balance. So I do agree with your sentiment in the other games. It's something we are looking at. You know, something we're talking about internally that we definitely need to get fixed up for Sunday's game.
You know, you mentioned Ollie Pratt as well. Obviously, local lad from York, spent probably half a season on loan at the Knights last year. How much do you think that that's benefited him, and how richly deserved do you think that it is? Yeah,
well, listen, I was Wakefield coach when I sent Ollie Pratt on loan to York for a reason. I signed Ollie Pratt as a 14-year-old from Youth. As soon as we saw him, we thought this kid's got a big future in the game, and I think he's showing everyone what probably a lot of people's known for 4 or 5 years now. I think he's a player that will go all the way to the top. I think he'll play for England. I really do. I think he's you know, got that pedigree, but at the same time, you know, we're not really worrying about Ollie in terms of his own career trajectory at the moment. We're looking at nullifying him and making sure that we get a result on Sunday against him.
And so just on that, I know that there's been a pathway, hasn't there, over the past few years with trying to get some of the local talent from clubs in York. Is that something that you're very keen to continue?
Yeah, I've said previously on record, I think if you want to be a Super League club, you know, a staple of Super League as such, you need a thriving youth system. You know, I think if you look at any team that's won Super League over the last 20 years, they've all had one common theme, haven't they? And that's that they've got thriving youth teams, that the teams that have been successful has been built around. So I think the blueprint for success is there for all to see. It's just a case of reverse engineering it and not deviating from your plan. So I know Endo's working at the moment on the Junior Squires programme, so he's working on getting the real foundation level of the youth system set up, and I think it'll take at least 5 to 10 years to even see it bearing proper fruit, you know, on a consistent basis. But I think it's something that is vital to the club's future, and you know, as I say, if York Knights are serious about being a contender in Super League, which we are, then we need a decent youth pathway to go with it.
I think Wakefield have announced this morning as well over 5,000 tickets have been sold this weekend's match. I know that they've built it up obviously as a massive match for them, get down and support Wakefield, but how much do you need the support of them Knights fans this week? Yeah,
we definitely need the Knights army over there. I think they make a great noise, you know, wherever we go. It's going to be a weird one because I know Wakefield sold big numbers because I live there, and I think my dad and brother will be in North Stand supporting Wakefield. So we need enough Knight fans to drown them out and get that drum beating for York Knights, don't we?
Yeah. And just finally, I know that Samoa are basing themselves in York for the upcoming test. How important do you think that is, not just for putting York on the map, but also showing just what the club can do?
Yeah, I think it's you know, it's great for York, the city. It's great for York Rugby League that a team such as Samoa, you know, live with international stars, Dean York's training facilities of the standard that they want, and it shows the quality of the facilities here. So yeah, really happy that they're based here, and I think again that's got all the makings of a great international series. I think Samoa's brought a really strong team over. You know, there's a 4-time grand final winner in there, so yeah, it'd be that England-Samoa test will be that test series will be a good watch all being well.
Is there anything that you think that you can learn from the time in York?
I think there's always lessons to learn. You know, like wherever you can and you've got that free time, you try go look at other coaches, other businesses, you know, other people, just see what they're up to, bouncing ideas, what you can take into your own philosophies and things like that. So yeah, I think that growth mindset's massive in modern coaching. I think that fixed mindset that you used to see in the past a lot, you know, has gone, and I think your modern coach is a lot more open-minded to new ideas, you know, and rightly so, really.
Yeah.